Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio. This is It's Your Healthy Lifestyle show, hosted by the founder of this platform, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and myself, Roland Friedl. How important is your health and fitness to you? We show you how you can easily eat healthier every day, how you can improve your fitness and recover much quicker after your exercises and workouts. Families will learn how to optimize their children's health and nutrition. And finally, you will also hear how you live a long, healthy and fit life into your old age. Join us here on It's Your Healthy Lifestyle.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here at USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and our show today is It's Your Healthy Lifestyle. Our topic is the beauty within. And we have a special guest, Karen L. Ross, is joining us from Pennsylvania in the United States. Before we bring her out, let's welcome the star of our show, Roland Friedl. Come on out, Roland. How are you?
Hello, Jacalyn. Great to see you. I'm fine. You look amazing. I love you. I love your dress. You know, it reminds me it's summertime is coming.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, I thought it kind of blended in with the fruit and the vegetable motif. So as your shirt does as well. So it's nice to see you twice today on It's Your Healthy Lifestyle.
Yeah, it's so important. You know, I love it because it's so good to talk about the healthy lifestyle, not only to talk about it, but also to give people a solution that is practical, affordable, and it's working. That's so important. People need it.
Absolutely. Roland, while I have you on Spotlight, tell us a little bit about the work that you're doing in this field of coaching people and helping people with getting a handle on their nutrition and a healthy lifestyle.
Well, you know, I'm engaged in many different business fields, but health is very important to myself and to the rest of the world, of course, because, you know, without health, everything else doesn't make any sense. You cannot have a career or a good business, or you cannot have a good relationship, or it's even difficult. You cannot enjoy your vacations, your hobbies, whatever, when you're not healthy. So for me, health is the base of everything. And I guess we have hundreds or thousands of different sickness and illness, but there's only one health. So the health is so important. And as I'm getting older, you know, it even becomes more and more important to me. So what I did is the last almost 30 years is I was very engaged in the health industry, especially in the nutrition industry. I got involved with a product that I'm taking since then, 29 years. It's now in June, it's 29 years. In 1994, I started. And I became a speaker on nutrition. I did a lot of education. And then I got invited by a medical society, and I had the chance to train in the beginning hundreds, later thousands of medical doctors on nutrition. And it was very interesting for me because I had no idea the doctors are not trained in nutrition. Only a few hours of the whole medical education you get in university. It's only very few on nutrition. Maybe there's some different interests from somebody else, but anyway. But I'm very into nutrition. It doesn't mean that I'm an asket. I always say 80% of my nutrition is healthy. The rest is the fun part. It's cool too. But I also started taking supplements, as I said, 29 years ago, just to bridge the gap between what I should eat on a daily basis and what I'm really eating. That's my background.
Thank you, Roland. I appreciate that. And as you know, I'm also taking Juice Plus, and my hair is growing like a weed, my nails, my eyebrows. But enough about me. Let's get to our guest today. Our guest has joined us as a result of a collaboration I have with Dr. Obam as well as Joseph Stetter, and they have something called the Millie Club, and they have a big event taking place this week, which is super exciting, and we wish them well. Karen L. Ross is an author and the creator of Birth, the Treasure Within. I absolutely love this concept and this title. Let's welcome Karen now. Hi, Karen.
Hi, how's everybody?
Hello, Karen. Great to see you.
Nice to have you here. Thank you so much. So, Karen, you heard us talking before you came out on stage. We're talking about healthy lifestyle. What does that mean to you when you think about your healthy lifestyle?
When I think about my healthy lifestyle, I think about it's such a need because our bodies, we're with our bodies is with us every day. And so when we are in a healthy state, that's our natural state. Then we're able to have a better quality of life. When we are healthy in our minds, we are able to just move through life in a greater way. So we're our thought process and so encompassing our whole being. So it's important for for us to be healthy so that we can live a life of quality.
Karen, I just love what you said, that being healthy is a natural state. Yeah, this is natural. Unfortunately, it's not for most of the people, but they have any issues. But yeah, it's a natural state to be healthy. Absolutely, from the beginning. And we have to take care that we prevent it and preserve it.
And we've been given everything that we need.
Yeah. Can you expand on that a little bit? What do you mean by we have everything we need?
So when I say that we have everything we need, our body makeup. And so whatever our bodies are made, our body makeup is like we've been given the natural resources to help sustain our bodies. So everything from the earth, so everything from nature. So our bodies are like that. And so when we give our bodies those natural elements, then our body is able to be more optimal and do what it's naturally, innately meant to do.
It's absolutely beautiful. Thank you. And and I'm guilty of this, Roland. I don't know if you'll say that you are, but I've worried about the container outside, right? It's like this is the first thing that shows up, but what's inside is super important because it affects what's outside. But we get tripped up a lot in worrying about what our container, what our package looks like. What are your thoughts on this, Karen?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so my journey has been being more in tune with my inner self. And that's where I'm my most happiest. And as you stated, we can be so much more consumed with our outer selves that of the physical that we lose sight of truly who we are and the power that we have and everything that we have with going on within ourselves. And it's really paying attention more so to what's within and allowing ourselves, as I stated earlier, to really flow in life in such a greater way.
Thank you so much for that. Roland, would you like to answer my original question about, do you ever get tripped up in that area about the container, the outside?
Well, I'm also getting older, Jacalyn, 60 next year. And I also look in the mirror. Of course I do. Who not? I'm dating too. Why not? But what I learned the last year is the more I take care about my inner world, meaning my mental, my soul, but also the nutrition in my body, the more my eyes get brighter, they're clearer, my smile is true, it's not a fake smile. So my whole appearance, I look much more attractive to other people when I'm balanced and I have a good nutrition. So beauty comes from inside. Absolutely. And that's what Karen said. I love it because it's all about getting back to nature. We have this body, which the science thought we are a machine. We're not a machine. We are a human being. We are part of this universe. And when we learn to reconnect with nature, exercise in nature, doing walk in the park, in the forest, on the seaside, eat natural food, breathe naturally, and drinking fresh water, eating what the planet gives us, then everything is fine.
Mm-hmm. You know what I think is interesting that you both really touched on this is it seems like it would be common sense. It seems like it's something that we should all go, okay, but we don't. I mean, I could just tell you myself, I had a sandwich in between shows and I'm thinking, why am I eating this? What nutritional value is there? It's a bunch of carbs and like it's horrible. I know I shouldn't be doing it, but I'm doing it. Karen, what is my problem?
For me, I can say that I am, as I stated, my body, my whole being is so important to me. I am a label reader. And so I'm more conscious about what I put in my body. And I look at, okay, I don't do processed foods. Processed foods, as I stated, reading the labels and what is the value that it's going to give me. And so, as I was sharing earlier, it's all about the mindset. So I look at my mindset has changed because I used to do that. I used to eat anything, but what I realized is when I was eating those things, it wasn't good for me because then I had health issues. So that is, the reason for my change and my healthy lifestyle, because I am looking at what is more valuable for me that I'm not dependent upon, whether it's medications or things that are really going to harm me. I'm more conscious about my health.
I love that. That's beautiful. Thank you. Yeah. So I'm wondering with your website, and we have it here on the screen, www.birththetreasurewithin.com. How did you come up with that name and what's the significance of it?
Birth the Treasure Within, the name came to me when I realized that there's a treasure within each and every one of us. And a lot of times, at times it takes work. And I, at one time I got to experience the birth of a relative. And so it was such a beautiful process. And when I looked at that and said, you know what, this can be a beautiful process, birthing that which is within us. And so that's how the name came up. And the Birth the Treasure Within is, like I stated, is about birthing and going through the process, trusting the process and doing the work to really get to that place where you're really moving forward in your true authentic self. And it's a beautiful thing.
Karen, one question. When I love the title, and as I always say, there's no free lunch. When we want to succeed, whatever field we want to succeed in, sports, in business, and health, whatever, we have to pay a price. Meaning we have to take self-responsibility and go for it and do it and keep this. So when you talk about birthing the treasure within for people, what's the price they're paying, and what's the outcome they can expect? How different will the life be for the people?
Oh, it takes work. It's going to take work, and no matter what the situation or circumstances is, just trust the process, and know that at the end of your process, that's the reward. And so it's change. It's knowing, having such a greater awareness of self. It's knowing yourself more. It's living the life that you truly want to live. It's creating from that place of knowing and believing that we can accomplish, and that you can accomplish anything, that there's a whole world out there to be, see, and experience, and taking off the limitations. And so there's a scripture that says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And so renewing of the mind, that is going to take work, because we've learned so many things from other people, cultures, environments, and experiences. And so to be able to change, if this is not the life we want to live, then knowing that, okay, there is something more. And so saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to do what I feel I need to do, or whatever comes up, to transition into that greater lifestyle, or that healthy lifestyle.
Absolutely. I love this answer. Thank you, Karen. You've worked with girls and women across the world, and you had something in your own life, someone that you loved, that you experienced something that they were going through. It had a major impact on you. Would you like to talk about that?
Absolutely, sure. It was my mom. And my mom and I, we did a lot. My mother would call me on the weekends and we would go out, we would go to lunch, and I would see her just about every day. My mother was experiencing some health issues, diabetes, high blood pressure, and what I saw really changed my mindset around health and wellness. So my mother had a massive heart attack in front of us. We were at one of my uncle's funerals, and I remember seeing my mom get up from where she was sitting, and she went outside. I remember her saying she wanted some water, and she got up and she didn't come back. And so I went outside at the top of the stairs of the church, and they were just holding her up. And I remember her saying that she couldn't breathe. And so I ran down the stairs and I'm looking up. And at that time, my mom, she just collapsed. And that was, I still have the visual from that. And just seeing that. And then they rushed her down the stairs and laid her out on the cement, and the ambulance came and she went to the hospital and she was brain dead. And for a couple of days later, she passed away. So that had an impact in my life. And it was a culture shock, because I remember, it was my mom, and seeing her every day and not to have that anymore, not to pick up the phone and not have her on the other line or have her call me. It was in an instant gone.
Wow, that's painful. Thanks for being so transparent and sharing that with us. And I know from what I saw on your websites that you have had a major physical transformation that also has an impact on you psychologically, emotionally. And I know for me, I've always struggled with my weight. I've always hated myself. I'm never thin enough. To this day, I just told myself this half an hour ago. And it's like this negative loop of constantly beating ourselves up. You had a major amount of weight that you lost that had to be so rewarding and yet also such a challenge. How did you do it?
So the decision I lost or released 100 plus pounds, and the beginning of that, as we've been sharing and talking about the mindset. And so from my mother passing, and then I was having some health issues myself. I was really suffering from migraines to the point where they would have me sick, and I would be in bed for days, and at times would go to the emergency room. They were that painful. And that's not how I wanted to live my life. I didn't want to be dependent on medications. I didn't want to experience the migraines. If anyone has ever experienced migraines, they are excruciating. And to the point, if I did take over-the-counter medication, because I didn't want to do prescription drugs, I was groggy. And so I was kind of out of it, and I would miss work for days, and I would be sick. I would have a trash can by the bed. I didn't like lights or sound. And so that was a decision that I made, and I decided, no, I'm not going to, this is not how I want to live my life. And so I want to live a life of health and wellness and being able to do what I want to do and not be dependent upon the medical industry. So I remember just crying out, asking for help, and that just help me. And so the help came. And so the desires started to change. I started educating myself on healthier alternatives for my body. I started reading labels. I started going more plant-based and being creative. I would go into the stores and I would ask the health food stores, and I would ask questions. And I made it fun. And I started to enjoy it, and I never weighed myself. And so I remember I started losing the weight. I could tell the difference in my clothes, but I never weighed myself. And so I just chose not to. And I never called it a diet. It was a lifestyle. And even going to work out, I even made that fun. I would do step aerobics, and I had the step at home, and I would do that. I was doing Billy Blanks at home, and I would go to the gym and be there before they opened up, like 5 o'clock in the morning at the door, ready to go. And I love spinning, swimming, and running on the treadmill, and I just made everything fun. It was my perception, and this was an opportunity for me to change me. And I learned so much more about me, and I enjoyed it. I just really enjoyed it because, as I stated, I made it fun. And I never weighed myself. And so my goal weight was the number that I set. I didn't know I had hit it until I went to the doctors.
I love what you said. I love what you said, Karen, because one of the things that's also important is to say you made it fun. It's not a have to, because when you put yourself under pressure, the pressure sometimes is too much, and then you go for an ice cream or you skip the workout, and then you feel guilty, you feel ashamed, and then you accuse yourself, and then you want to heal yourself by having another ice cream or another cookie, whatever it is, and then the negative loop goes on. So I love what you're saying. It's having fun and really enjoying it. And also you said it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
And enjoying it and getting the fun part of it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
And
I love that also. And sorry, I just wanted to say something about the scale. So many people live and die by the scale. I know people who get weighed 3 times a day. And it's like, oh no, I put on, like, no, that completely consumes them, and they can't really enjoy anything because that scale is there taunting them.
Yes. And you mentioned that, and what the word that comes to mind is freedom. And freedom from the scales, and like I said, just making it fun and just taking one step at a time every day, just getting out there and just having fun with it. And as I stated, going to the gym and being there first thing in the morning, and just know that I was doing something for me. And that was important to me. And I learned so much about myself, and just being educated and knowing that creation, the foods that we're eating and the foods that are really available for us to really help our bodies. And, that's what I just truly enjoyed it.
I was smiling when you said about the scale. Right now, I'm not stepping on a scale too, but I know that my scale is going up because I'm building up muscle. So I'm gaining weight, and I'm happy about it. In my age, I'm gaining weight. But a funny picture came to my mind, because women are much more critical against themselves with their weight, how they look like, because a man always stays in front of the mirror and said, hey, baby, I look cool. A woman, it comes from the side, and she sees everything. Men never does this, so it's a change of perspective.
I totally agree with that. What about you, Karen? Yes. I would look in the mirror, looking at the mirror, and that's how I could tell again, also how I was losing weight. I just chose not to do the scale. So the mirror and my clothes. And so I would go shopping. And I remember before losing the weight, going into the stores, and there were the larger stores for larger women. And I was a size between 22, 24. And I would pass the stores and also look in the mirrors. And then, you can see the windows, and you see the glare, and as you're walking by. And it's, I want to shop in that store. Those are some of the things that I would say to myself. I would one day love to be able to go into that store and purchase and get down to that size to be able to purchase in those stores. And so when I started seeing the weight coming off, and then eventually being able to go into the store, that was a great feeling.
I can imagine.
Congratulations. That's exciting.
Karen.
Karen, as you're working with women and girls across the world, there's different cultures and people have different perspectives about food and about eating. What have you heard from any of the clients that you've worked with, if they have different attitudes about food?
Some of the what I've been hearing from the clients is one, it's hard, and because we are so used to eating a certain way, and when talking to people and being ready to really talk to them and seeing if they're ready to really be able to let go of what it is that they're doing. And I don't say, you know, you have to drop everything or just do one thing or pick one thing to add or eliminate, and do small steps. So those are some of the things that I hear from people. And then also other cultures, like I've worked with women and children in Africa. And I remember doing a workshop in Africa with the women, and to hear their perception of the foods that they were eating and what was available to them, because we're so used to eating a certain way, but a lot of people had health issues, and to be able to educate them on, if you change the way you're eating or change the food that you're using and changing to this could possibly help with the condition that you're dealing with. And so even after the workshop, being able to educate people in that manner, and then to see them go out, and there was a fruit stand there right outside the building where we were, and they went out and they just went and started buying fruit and vegetables, and which they had not done. They weren't doing. They were eating other foods.
I think that people have to understand that food is the medicine and not the pharmaceuticals. Mm-hmm. And if you have the proper food, you don't need pharmaceuticals. But people have to learn it. And as you said, Karen, it's very difficult to change habits. Very difficult. And food is part of our culture. No matter what our cultural background is, it's part of our culture. Especially here in Austria, we also have very, very heavy food. They're really heavy food, very fatty, very sweet. And it's. I mean, I'm staying at outside of my uncle's house. When I look what she's eating, I mean, I'm not going to change her. She's 83, yeah. But there's no wonder that she has, I don't know, 10 packs of different pharmaceuticals she's taking every day because of the food she's eating. But it's so difficult for me. I try to, because I eat differently. I eat together with her, but I eat something different than her most of the time. And she doesn't understand it. I said, Roland, this is not our food. Yeah, I said, yeah, it's not Austrian food, typical Austrian food what I'm eating. But look at me. I look fucking good. I don't take any medicine. But it's so difficult for people to understand that food has an amazing impact. My question to you, Karen, is, because when I see obese people or people who are really having health issues because of overweight or obesity, this is a process that people are not gaining weight over a month or over a year. It's going slowly up. The weight is going up, and people get used to it, and they get used to the pain they have when they bend down. They get used to they cannot, I don't know, close their shoes. They get used to it that it's heavy to walk the stairways up without getting out of breath. So they used it. They cannot even imagine how wonderful, how lighter life is with less weight. So what is your advice to people just to encourage us to get started? Because actually, when we're honest, most people start out of a motivation because of pain or a trauma, maybe really severe health issues, or as you said, one of your beloved ones passed away. But I think we shouldn't wait so long for a change. So what is your advice to people to get a taste of how it could be to be easier and lighter?
I'll just share something with you. I was in the chiropractor's office because I believe in holistic practices, the chiropractor. And so I remember seeing a magazine on the table, and the front cover stated cruise ship or nursing home. So, and that stuck with me. And again, quality of life. And so it's, what do you envision your life to be? And can you see yourself? Start there. Can you see yourself just not having trouble going up the stairs, or what would that feel like? And can you see yourself just not being in pain? And what would being pain-free, what would that feel like? And then just starting there and saying, you know what? I am going to start now doing something towards helping me to be pain-free, or doing something now to at least help me to get up a couple of stairs. So whether it's eating, educating self on foods that are going to help my body, like what's going on with me, let me pay attention to my body. And that's a thing too. Start listening to our bodies. Our bodies will let us know. And I know that there are times when, because I'm on more of a plant-based, I have more plant-based lifestyle now. When I do eat things that I don't normally eat, my body will let me know. I'll get a headache instantly. So I'll know that there's something in that food or something there's something in the food that I just ate, and I need not do that again. So it's really paying attention to the body and saying, I am more valuable than this pain. I am more valuable that I know that I have it within me to go up those stairs and it not be an issue. So we can start there.
I have an additional question, Karen, because when we speak from the Western culture, because we have a more or less good education system, because I think health is also related to the education system. But what somebody is obese and fighting with health issues and overweight, how about the root cause? When somebody's overeating, mostly it is rewarding themselves because they feel not valuable. They believe they don't get the love from their parents or whatever, so they give the love by having a nice pasta or chocolate or whatever it is. How about the root cause? How do you handle with this? Are you working with the people on the root cause? Maybe there's a trauma behind or a limiting belief system or something?
I work with people who, so one of the things that I can say is working with people who, as you were sharing, with trauma and rewarding themselves with food. And again, it's the mindset. It's renewing your mindset and saying that, okay, I am better than, or I'm greater than whatever it is that I may have experienced. And it's really doing the work to say that I'm going to do this. I'm going to do something that's good for me, because a lot of times we'll continue to take ourselves through a trauma, and when we can release ourselves from a trauma. And so it's just really being in tune and deciding that I no longer want to go through this. I no longer want to go through the emotions of what it is that I'm experiencing. And yes, it will take work. And I used to say that when I worked with women, that yes, you may be kicking and screaming on the floor, but when we go through the process and when we truly go through the work, the reward is so much greater. It's so much better. So just trust the process. Trust the process, go through it, and know that you will be better because of it.
Thank you, Karen. And I have a follow-up question also, which is, if we commit ourselves, we're on the right path, we're doing the work, but we live with people who are not on the path and they're on the other path we used to be on, and they're saying, hey, you're not fun anymore, or hey, this is boring. Or, it's people love misery and they want people to be right there with them. What if you're the one person in the household who has this approach and nobody else agrees with you or is supporting you?
When I first started, I experienced that. And so what I had to say, because I was married and we used to go out all the time, and those are some of the things that I would hear, that why can't we do this anymore? Or can we go do this? And so what I had to say is, I'm more valuable. It's about my health. And so it was my choice, my decision. I mattered to me, and that's what I followed. And so, yes, I have experienced that. And so even when I'm out with other people or doing stuff with or going to events, I know what works for me, and I stay there because it's about me.
So it sounds like you're empowered, and whatever people are thinking, whatever they're doing, that's on them. You've got you.
Absolutely. Empower yourself.
Yeah. I love that. Karen, we're coming down to the last part of the show. What message do you want to leave people with in terms of, okay, they recognize that their health is important and they want to take steps, but they need someone like you to work with them?
So I am available. And if they want support, and they're making the decision that, yes, I want to do this, but I do need help, I do support people and I work with people. So you can reach out to me at www.birththetreasurewithin.com and start the process. value you, invest in yourself, and just trust the process, and don't even think of losing weight. Don't think of where you are now, or where you want to be. Start now. Be in your present and experience where you are now. And because that's what we have. And so even in this moment, if you say today or right here, right now, I'm going to choose one thing that I'm going to change. Start there. Don't even think of the bigger picture. Be where you are right now. And you do the little things, and it equates to the bigger things later on.
Excellent. Thank you. Roland, last question to you.
Yeah, Karen, how important in your experience is a peer group experience, meaning like-minded people who support each other, motivate each other, talk about the small steps to success, maybe the small steps back that can also occur, and how they motivate it. Is a peer group experience also important for your work?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Being around like-minded people, absolutely. It makes it a little bit more easier. And when you have support, it makes it a little bit easier because you have someone to really help you get into that space of really valuing you. And so you get that positive, when you're in that positive environment, that definitely makes it a lot more easier.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Karen. It's been an absolute pleasure having you with us today, and we hope that you'll come back and see us on some of our other shows.
Absolutely, absolutely. I enjoyed this. It was fantastic. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
We look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Karen.
Bye-bye.
Well, that was especially interesting. A lot of great information she shared, and I love the fact that her story, she's so open about it to encourage other people.
Yeah, an absolute a role model. She went through all these stages, so she knows exactly what she's talking about. She's not a theory or something she heard or learned from. She's talking from her own experience. I loved her. Yeah, absolutely.
I do too. Roland, how can people reach out to you, and who would you like to contact you?
Good question. Everyone who wants to talk to this crazy guy from Austria, whatever topic you want to discuss, I'm always very open. I love to share and care and connect with people worldwide. The easiest way to contact me is my email. It's office@rolandfriedl.com. My website is the same, rolandfriedl.com. I will spell it for you guys on a podcast or on a radio station. It's ROLANDFRIEDL.com, rolandfriedl.com, or the email is office@rolandfriedl.com. You're more than welcome to share where you want to go, where you're coming from, and what you want to be or become. Thanks.
Thank you, Roland. And please let us know about our next show coming right up.
Yeah, the next show is the Mallorca Connection, starting in 22 minutes. The Mallorca Connection is, we're going to talk about success, how to become success, what is success, how to become success. And I will bring you a formula on this show that can help you and remind you every day what kind of ingredients need to be successful, whatever it is, in business, in sports, in relationship, in your health, whatever it is. Let's talk about success.
Let's do it. Fantastic. Thank you, Roland. Thank you, everyone. We'll be right back. As Roland mentioned, we'll be back at the top of the hour, and we'll look forward to seeing you all there soon. Bye for now.
Bye for now. Thank you.
Bye.